So Russia currently has one redeeming quality, and it's the Epic Fighting Championship. It's the mixed martial arts promotion where you could watch two dudes fight a lady. A 530 pounder versus a 140 pounder. Also a lady. A Royal Rumble. A crime. And much, much more. Let me break it down for you. Duke Nukem was one of the best games of the 90s. But after that abomination that was Duke Nukem Forever in 2011, that fool went into hiding. Never to be seen again. Until now. Turns out he was in Russia, fighting the elements, fighting water bottles, fighting the urge to become the Russian Tyrone Woodley.
Я такой 4-5.
But better, he was gonna be fighting that one dude that was kicked out of the last event. He was too crazy for Russia. But it makes sense once you realize that he's a McGregor fan. And he thought the cameraman was just following him around for the B-roll. But that fool was trying to gather evidence for the inevitable trial. Look at this fool. He's squirrely, literally. And those beady little eyes, he's up to no good. He's attacking civilians, harassing women, staking out playgrounds. It's the perfect time for Duke Nukem to come out of hiding and save the day. Well, early in the first round, I realized why Duke Nukem uses weapons. And I could understand that being much bigger, he decided to weather that storm so that he could take it to the ground. But you gotta remember that you're in Russia. And when you take some fool to the ground, his homie's gonna be rushing to help him out. And I never saw Duke Nukem die because I only played the first person games. But this is exactly how he would look if he died in the game. After loading the new game, Duke was ready to continue. But now he knows that he's gonna get pieced up on the feet. And that if he takes it to the ground, fools are gonna be rushing to the cage. It's a tough spot. He finds a good in between against the cage. Then he almost pops that fool's head off. I'm not even rushing. And I wanted to jump the cage on that one. He took it to the ground again. And I couldn't believe that no one hopped in. But that fool was saved by the bow. Round 2 begins. And Duke wants that fool to bring it. He knows that he could make that aggression work against him. And it worked. And then his own corner worked against him too. They retired him on the spot. They didn't just throw in the towel. They got all metaphorical with it and threw in the gloves. And as far as I'm confirmed, it wasn't even necessary. I haven't seen an early stoppage like that since, well, not that long ago. I'm assuming that this was his retirement speech right after the fight. But then some other fool came in and said that he should unretire and fight someone his own size. And because I don't know a lot of Russian, I'm gonna have to wait until the next event to see how it plays out. Rinedi Chestovanyo. Rinedi Chestovanyo. Rinedi Chestovanyo. The next fight was a 3-on-3 match between the Hills Have Eyes and the 3 stages of depression. And I was a little bit sad because they didn't give any kind of a backstory for these fools. And a lot of the time, that's like the best part. The first thing I was wondering was, how are these fools gonna tag each other? There's no ropes or anything. It will be kind of annoying to have to hop over the cage every single time. But I quickly realized how foolish I was. The only tagging would be on each other's domes. Within the first 8 seconds of the match, they were all on the ground. What is this, the UFC? That's not what I come here for, Epic Fighting Championship. And now the referee's cheating. What is this, the WWF? Actually, that's what I'm here for. I like that. And then this fool's hammering away like if he's trying to get a Home Depot sponsorship. The homie tries to save his friend because the ref fell asleep. Oh, you'll stop him, but not the fighter. And that's the cue for the Royal Rumble. Apparently, this happens at every event. How could we blame Khabib? It's in his DNA. And the weird thing is that every time people storm the ring, everybody fights, except the actual fighters. This one's even trying to be a peacemaker. I think the people that storm in probably couldn't make it as fighters or something. And now they're trying to live vivaciously through their homies. After a short break, they cleared the cage and resumed the match. But now it's a 3-on-2. I don't know if it's an elimination thing, if that fool got hurt, or if he had to go to the bathroom. Maybe he'll come back. But in the meantime, these fools are playing whack-a-mole. Or as my people say, guacamole. It was so extreme that the commentator learned English out of sheer concern.
Stop!
It was like that one scene from Kung Pao where that fool was clearly dumb, but they still kept going.
Stop!
When they finally did break it apart, I thought it was gonna turn into a 3-on-1 match, but they just called it right there. Cause 3-on-1, that's where the EFC draws the line. You see, when you let things get out of control, they could end up looking like this. Some of you are feeling uncomfortable right now, cause you know I'm talking about you. But you're also uncomfortable because you're sitting on this. Look at my Ridge wallet. This thin wallet that holds up to 12 cards and my cash. You know how comfortable this is to sit on? Trick question, it's a front pocket wallet. You know that back pain that you're feeling right now? It's not because you used to play JV football. Quit lying to yourself. You're in pain because you gave in to peer pressure long ago, and you allowed yourself to believe that it was a good idea to let your back get all chueco. Say no to peer pressure and get the Ridge wallet right now. Everyone who cares about their back and RFID blocking protection is doing it. Some people are buying so many that they're even gonna get the backpack so that they can fit them all in there. This could be us, but you don't stop playing. Just go to ridge.com/Voto and put in the promo code VOTO for 10% off. After the first 2 fights, I was concerned that I wasn't gonna get to see a dude fight a lady. But the third fight was where the UFC came back to true form. And they gave us Roseanne versus Fredo. Now I could see that Roseanne is a Wing Chun expert, but Fredo looks like a pacifist. He had no interest in doing any damage. And he had me wondering if maybe he took the fight because it had been a while since he experienced the touch of a woman. But it was Roseanne's son who wanted to touch Fredo. And sure, it's honorable and everything, but I felt bad for her. I hope she still gets paid. And it's not really fair at this point. Fredo just did a full fight camp for a lady. He didn't train for DJ Connor, and DJ knows this. That's why he's acting all smug. However, his striking isn't very clean, so he slammed him, got the mount, and tried to land shots. But Fredo was trying to stalemate him, so the ref stood him up. And you could see the frustration on Fredo. He was like, bro, I was trying to fight a lady today. And he barely made it out of the first round. But that was as far as he would get. He was simply too exhausted from all the times he had to keep fixing his hair. But keep your chin up, Fredo. There's a lot of women out there that you could beat up. You just gotta be patient. Speaking of patience, mine was a little bit tested during this next fight. Quite frankly, it wasn't weird enough for me. One of the dudes kind of reminded me of Gilbert, and that was funny. And the other fool reminded me of Ethan Klein, my former favorite YouTuber. At first, I thought this fool was trying to end his life with the Coke and Mentos. But I guess he was just stretching. And then he was fighting a tree. Well, even Sensei Seth does that. And then he started acting like Nacho.
Yeah, Coco!
He was trying to be weird. And I appreciate that. But he looked more like a malnourished Stipe muchacho than Nacho. And then this other fool went to Spirit Halloween real quick. But he wasted his money because his technique was even scarier than the costume. And he was training with stuff that he can't even use in the match. Yes, the UFC has handicap matches, Royal Rumbles, Divas, the Titantron, Steel Cage matches, but not hardcore matches. The UFC is the MMA promotion closest to the ECW, but they still don't allow weapons. However, this fight made me wish that they would allow weapons. Baby Stipe was in beta mode, and Ethan Klein is only used to beefing on the internet. After the first round, Baby Stipe knew that Ethan had nothing to offer, so he let the hands go and got the TKO. Never mind the kick to the groin and the 2 shots to the back of the head. They don't even count stuff like that in the UFC. You think they're gonna do it here? But it was alright. Ethan took it well. Maybe a little too well. The main event will star Khabib's cousin and the Bogdanov twins' older brother. And even though I am a Khabib sympathizer, I'm not really sold on his cousin. He seems to have no personality. The best way I could describe him is that he's like the EFC's Luke Rockhold. On the other hand, Bogdanov is a man of the people, trains fighters at the EFC Apex, and uses public transportation. But he's gonna have to buy a one-way ticket to Palookaville because Khabib's cousin broke him in the first round. He was looking for that submission from the get. He was just too strong, and Bogdanov didn't have any takedown defense. And it wasn't even that he choked him. It looked like his neck was getting cranked, like if he was Conor McGregor. Bogdanov's head was all chwack after, so they gave him a beanie, which didn't help at all. I think it was probably a sponsorship thing. Which reminds me, shout out to the Ridge Wallet for sponsoring this video. Thank you for watching Mexican Martial Arts. Appreciate it. Good looking out. Lay. A crime. The next fight was a 3-on-3 match between the Hills Have Eyes and the 3 Stages of Depression. Finally, The Rock has come back to the piano. I want you to think about something. The Rock and Joe Rogan both got way more successful after they shaved their heads. If you like this video, I think you'll love this one. And you should also subscribe.